maybe it makes sense to discuss what creates a wolf tone or a dead note on a guitar.
Yeah, okay.
And because that's sort of related to the resonant frequencies.
Yeah, so you've got these modes of vibration, and we'll just start with the lowest one, the air resonance of the instrument, the cavity resonance. And on most guitars, that frequency is between sort of 90 hertz and 105 hertz, and some guitars they go higher, some guitars they go lower, but between those frequencies, it's is sort of where the guitar can still sound good, basically. And this is from sort of measuring instruments of the past, and that's also for an instrument that is played in standard tuning.
Right. So maybe how does that frequency range compare to the notes on the string?
100 hertz is between G and G sharp, and
on which string?
On the sixth string, the
right.
bottom E.
Mm-hmm.
And you're hoping that lowest resonance is affecting the notes around it, but then if you land that particular mode, the air resonance, right on a note, that energy from the string will be very quickly sucked up by that mode, and the energy dissipates very quickly, and the note becomes non-musical. It loses its musicality because it has no sustain, it has no volume, and it has no projection. And then the mode is excited very quickly, vibrates very, very fast and efficiently, and then the note dies and is gone. And so that's what is a wolf note. Now, you can not have to worry about wolf notes if the instrument is overbuilt. And that's what most factory instruments are, is that they're overbuilt so that they don't need to worry about these different modes of vibration being excited too efficiently and making sort of a very uneven sounding instrument. But then you get a very sort of mediocre sounding instrument with sort of basically a dampened sound.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you really need to start worrying about these modes and where they're placed is when you start building efficient instruments.
Right.
And if you build extremely efficient instruments and don't worry about the modes, you'll end up with well, you may not end up, but more than likely you'll end up with dead notes, unmusical notes, and for the player, it's incredibly limiting, because if you are playing some notes on the fretboard and they have beautiful sustain and projection and clarity, and then you hit another note and you hear plonk, it just doesn't work.
One of the, I guess, important differences between a guitar and a violin is that when you play, you're introducing impulses to the strings by plucking, rather than a continuous stream of energy when you're bowing a string. So that makes it extra important to place these resonances in between scale notes, just because there's a limited amount of energy, and so if you're exciting a mode, like you said, you're going to lose all that energy very quickly in the string. So essentially, all the energy gets sucked out of the string, and the string stops vibrating.
In the guitar, it's like a controlled efficiency. You want it to be a very efficient vibrator, but if it's too efficient, as in landing right on a note, it will suck all the energy from the string. So it's a very controlled sort of efficiency. Whereas in the violin, because you're driving the string continuously, as soon as you take the bow off, there's no more sound.
Mm-hmm.
And the violin is an extremely efficient vibrator, but in an uncontrolled manner, where you are bowing the instrument continuously and it's just vibrating like crazy and amplifying that string vibration continuously. Whereas in the guitar, it's in a much more controlled fashion,
Right.
because you have limited string energy from that
Mhm.
single pluck.
Yeah.